Hi everyone. In this session, we will going to deal fitted trade previous year questions for the RRB ALP exam. Okay, let's start the session. First chapter is the trade and safety means. Okay, first question. In 5S concept, the term say so, that is shy, stands for. Don't worry about it. They're not gonna ask in Japanese language. Okay, anyway, they're gonna ask in English too. Okay, so in 5S concept, the term shy stands for. Here, before that, we have to know what is 5S concept. 5S concept. 5S concept is the first one, sort. Okay, SORT. Okay, the second S stands for set. Okay, SET. Third one, shine. Okay, fourth one, standardize. Okay, fifth one is sustain. Okay, sort means keep only necessary items in the workplace. Okay, keep only necessary items in the workplace. Okay, the second one is set. Set means arrange items to promote efficient workflow. Okay, set means arrange items to promote efficient workflow. Okay, efficient workflow. Okay, third one is shine. Okay, shine means clean the work area, so it is neat and tidy. Okay, shine means clean the work area. Okay, so it is neat and tidy. So it is neat and tidy. Okay, and standardize. Okay, standardize means set standards for a consistently organized workplace. Okay, set standardize. Sorry, set standards for a consistently organized workplace. Okay, consistently organized workplace. Okay, and the last one is sustain, maintain, and review standards. Okay, maintain and review standards. Okay, so by looking at these 5S concepts, we can come to a conclusion that these 5S system benefits the increase in the productivity. Okay, so this 5S concept increase in the productivity. Okay, so coming to the question, in a 5S concept, the term shine stands for. Here in the third one, shine stands for clean the work area. Okay, so here the answer is option C. Keep the workplace neat and clean. Sorry, here workplace. Okay, neat and clean. The next question is, a victim of electric shock is unconscious and not breathing. In case the victim's mouth is closed tightly, which method of artificial resuscitation or respiration is more suitable? A victim of electric shock is unconscious and not breathing in case the victim's mouth is closed tightly. Then, Schaeffer's method or Holder Nielsen method of artificial resuscitation is more suitable. Okay, so the answer is option C. What is CPR in safety? CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Okay, that is option A. It is a life-saving technique that's useful in many emergencies such as heart attack or near drowning, in which someone's breathing or heartbeat has stopped. Okay, and CPR can keep oxygen-rich blood flowing to the brain and other organs until emergency medical treatment can restore a typical heart rhythm. Okay, the three basic parts of CPR are easily remembered as CAB. Okay, that is CAB. Okay, CAB. CAB. C stands for compression. Okay, compression. A stands for airway. Okay, airway. B stands for breathing. Okay, so remember this one, CAB. Okay, if a patient does not respond to mouth resuscitation, treat a first aider should immediately. That is option A. Seek medical help. Okay, if a patient does not respond to mouth resuscitation, treat a first aider should seek a medical help. Okay, there is no other choice. 5S stands for, we have discussed it before, right? So 5S stands for sort, set, shine, standardize, sustain. Okay, sort, set, shine, standardize, and sustain. Okay, benefits of the 5S system are. So here the answer is increase the productivity. We have discussed it before, right? And The first aid box should be properly equipped and kept in. Among the options, option C is the right option. Easy access place. Okay. It should be kept in the easy access place. Okay. If a worker has suffered from electric shock, he should be. If a worker has suffered from electric shock, he should be kept warm and covered. Okay. So option D, kept warm and covered. In case of electric fire, which one of the following should not be used? In case of electric fire, never throw water on an electrical fire because water conducts electricity and you could be electrocuted. Okay. If you don't have a fire extinguisher, you can use baking soda to extinguish an electric fire. Okay. So here the answer is put water on it. That should not be done. Okay. What is the first action if colleague received a heavy electric shock? So here the answer is switch off the current immediately is the first action if a colleague received a heavy electric shock. Okay. In ABC of first aid, A stands for airway, B stands for breathing, C stands for circulation. Okay. A stands for airway, B stands for breathing, C stands for circulation. Okay. If your clothes catch fire on the work spot, what will you do first? What will you do? If your clothes catch fire on the work spot, you will roll over the ground. Okay. If a worker has suffered from electric shock, he should be kept warm and covered. Okay. These two are the basic things. Okay. So here he is asking, what if your clothes catch fire on the work spot? We will roll over the ground. Okay. If a person faints due to suffocation, the first aid to be given is. If a person faints due to suffocation, the first aid to be given, the place him on a well ventilated location. Okay. Place him on a well ventilated location. Which of the following should not be kept in a first aid kit? Answers are sterile dressing, plasters, eye dressing, headache tablets. So here the answer is headache tablets. Okay. A workshop should have the following facilities and medicine for first aid treatment. Those are, listen to me carefully, tincture iodine. Okay. And second one is tincture benzene and Dettol, Bornal, painkillers. Okay. Painkillers, bandage, cotton, safety pin, raw plaster, wooden splinters. Okay. Netted cloth, glass for giving medicines. Okay. Glass for cleaning eyes, dropper, stretcher extra. Okay. Headache tablets not be kept in a first aid kit. Keep that in mind. In case of an accident, the victim should immediately be. In case of an accident, the victim should be immediately be attended to and give first aid before a trained medical worker arrives. Okay. So attend to immediately. Oil fire is extinguished by, it is extinguished by foam extinguisher. Okay. Soft skill helps in. Soft skill helps in getting promotions, finding better job, developing a good personality. The modern workplace in interpersonal, okay, customer and clients demand soft skills, improve your workplace productivity. So here the answer is all of the above. Okay, soft skills helps in all of the above. A person possessing a good personal skill should have certain qualities which includes confidence, determination, patience. Okay, so answer is all of the above. And few more: ambition, creativity, flexibility. These are also considerations. Okay, fire due to electricity should be controlled by putting CO2. Okay, fire due to electricity should be controlled by putting CO2. CO2 is carbon dioxide. Okay, if a patient is not responding to mouth-to-mouth respiration, the primary attendant should. So here the answer is immediately search for medical assistance. Okay, the best way to avoid an accident. The best way to avoid an accident is follow safety rules pertaining to job mission and work area. Okay, materials used in primary treatment are as we discussed before, tincture iodine is there, Bernal is there, Dettol is there. So all of the above. Okay, the materials are tincture iodine. One more time I'm saying tincture iodine, tincture benzoin, Dettol, Bernal, painkillers, bandage, cotton, safety pins. Okay, raw plaster, wooden splinter, netted cloth, glass for giving medicine, glass for cleaning eyes, droppers, stretcher, etc. Okay, which of the following options is incorrect with respect to the key element of a fire safety management system? Okay, so here the answer is regularization of staff leave plan. Okay, which chemical is used in soda acid fire extinguisher? That is sodium bicarbonate. Okay, sodium. So here the formula is NaHCO3. Okay, CO3. That is sodium bicarbonate. Okay, soda as fire extinguisher. That is carbonous fire caused by wood, cloth, and other solid combustive materials. Okay, soda acid fire extinguisher is used for extinguishing the fire. Okay, it should not extinguish an electric fire because it's related, sorry, it release chemicals are good conductors of electricity. Okay, chemicals in it is sodium bicarbonate is used. Okay, National Fire Protection Association codes and standards are adopted and used throughout the world to minimize the possibility of fire and other risks. Which code of NFPA deals with standards of fire professional qualifications? So here the answer is 1021. Okay, In the event of accident, immediately to the victim should provide assistance. Okay, that is option C. The first aid in case of snake bite is. So the first treatment for snake bite is, first of all, cloth should be tied on the wound and the wound should be cut to let the blood come out. Okay, so here the answer is option C. Okay, which fire extinguisher is used to control Class B fire? That is option D. Okay, so you can see here are the fire classes, types of fire extinguisher used. Okay, in Class A, carbonance fire, that is, if the fire catches wood, paper, coal, soil, fuel, like that comes under the Class A. Okay, so the fire extinguisher used here is water, sand, soda, and soda acid. Okay, in Class B, liquid fuels. Okay, liquid fuels means diesel, petrol, kerosene. Okay, so here the fire extinguisher is foam type extinguishers. Okay, CO2 extinguisher. These two are used for Class B, that are liquid fuels type of fire. Okay, in Class C, glass fuels. Okay, gases. Sorry, gases fuel. That is LPG, methane, CNG, etc. Okay, for this kind of fires, we can use the extinguisher CO2 Highland chemical. Okay, here it is not H5, HA. Okay, halon, HALON, halon. Okay, halon chemicals. And class D, electrical current metallic fire. Okay, so CTC. CTC means carbon tetrachloride. Okay, carbon tetra. So by heart these fire extinguishers and types of fire and class of the fire. Okay, you may get questions repeatedly in ALP exams. Okay, not only ALP, in any ITI trade of fitter, you will get the questions. Okay, dash used for safety of head. So we know that helmets and caps. Okay, safety helmets, hard hats or caps. Okay, hairnet, bump cap. These are the head protectors. Okay, I'll write it down here. Safety helmets, safety helmets. Okay, hard hats, hairnet. Okay, and bump cap. Okay, bump cap. These are the safety of head. War for safety of legs. These are leather shoes. Okay, leather shoes or safety shoes. Okay, or safety shoes. Okay, use it for safety of eyes. Eye protection equipments while working in the workshop to protect the eyes. Goggles, glasses, and face shield should be used to protect the eyes, remain in safe position. Okay, so all of the above, goggles, glasses, face shields. Okay, use it for safety of body. that is gloves, coverall, apron. So all of the above. Okay. Always while grinding, always stand on the side of the wheel while grinding with a grinder at the workplace because the sparks come out the wheel can harm you, and for this you should also wear eyeglasses. Okay, always while grinding, stand on the side of the wheel. Okay, that's the fire due to metals are classified as fire due to metals are classified as you can see the table. Okay, here combustible metals such as magnesium, potassium, and zirconium comes under the class of fire D. Okay, so answer is D. Here E and K are added, right? E and K. These two are not in the test books of IT trade. Okay, in the online they have mentioned E and K also. So for the safety purpose, I have included these two. Okay, E- class fire E is fires involving potentially energized electrical equipments. Okay, K means unsaturated cooling oil in well-insulated cooking appliances, okay, located in commercial kitchens, okay, in commercial kitchens. K means kitchen, okay, remember like that. Which of the following is not a personal protective equipment? Among the four, spanner is not a personal protective equipment, okay. And related to use of fire extinguisher, the term PASS, PASS stands for. It's a shortcut to, okay. Remember this one. PASS means what? PASS means pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. Okay. So this is the code for using the fire extinguisher. Okay. If you observe any fire, first of all take the fire extinguisher, pull the pin, aim the target, and squeeze it, squeeze the nozzle, okay, and sweep it, okay, to cover all over the fire, okay. Which shape is used for prohibition and mandatory type safety signs? It's a circular, okay. The shape is used for prohibition and mandatory type or safety signs is circular, okay, like this ones. You can observe this type of signboards on road, right? Like stop, okay. This is prohibition or mandatory signs, okay. And shape used for warning. There's a triangle in shape, okay. High voltage. This is warning signs, okay. Caution, risk of danger. Warning sign. This is prohibition or mandatory sign, okay. Okay, and rectangular shape. This kind of like a first aid, right? First aid stations. Okay, the shape is used for safe conditions. Okay, what is stopping in extinguishing of fire? That is remove a fuel element from the fire. Okay, if any combustible material can be removed or gas or fuel source shut down. Okay, shut off. The most commonly used firefighting medium is water. Okay, referring to the triangle of fire, cools the heat being produced in the fire to below ignition temperature. Okay, which method is more effective for extinguishing a fire involving large wood, cloth, or paper? Okay, so we have discussed this. Okay, so here the answer is option A or option B. Spraying jet of water on the base of the fire and then gradually upwards. Okay, cutting off the supply of oxygen to using the foam dry powder of CO2. Okay, any of the A and B options are correct. There is some fault in a live electrical circuit or appliance and you need to repair. Which of the following does not represent a good safety practice? So here, keep the main switch on and keep the circuit live. Okay, that's the not a good practice. Okay, what immediate action is recommended in case of severe bleeding? Options are make the patient to lie down and rest. That's correct. Raise the injured part above the level of the body. And that's also correct. Apply pressure to the wound. So the answer is all of the above. Okay. Extinguishing of fire through the process of isolating the fire from the supply of oxygen by blanketing it with foam, sand, etc. is known as smothering. Okay, extinguishing of fire through the process of isolating the fire from the supply of oxygen by blanketing it with foam, sand, etc. is known as smothering. Okay, starvation is achieved by removal of fuel burning in the fire. Okay, any combustible material can be removed or gas or fuel flows shut off. Okay, here starvation means it is achieved by it is achieved by removal of the fuel burning in the fire. Okay, removal of the fuel burning fuel burning in the fire. Okay, in the fire. Okay, unsafe working habits always end up in loss of unsafe working habits always end up loss of personal injury. Okay, dash is used for the fire caused by electricity in a factory. That is CTC extinguisher. Okay, CTC is used for the fire caused by electricity in the factory. Okay, the CTC fire extinguisher full form is carbon tetrachloride fire extinguisher. Okay, I'm writing here carbon tetrachloride. Okay, carbon tetrachloride fire extinguisher. Okay, fire. Okay, to control fire from oil, petrol, etc., which extinguisher is used. Okay, so the answer is foam. Okay, foam extinguisher is used to control fire from the oil, petrol, etc. Okay, foam extinguisher takes away the heat element. Okay, that is on one of the condition for the fire to take place. Okay, fire can be reduced by removing. The three essential things required to reduce the fire are fuel, heat, and oxygen. Okay, the air supplies oxygen and heat to raise the temperature of the fuel beyond the ignition temperature. Fire can be reduced by removing any of these factors. Okay, so the answer is any of the above. Okay, which of the following is used to extinguish fire? Water, chemical, and foam all are used to extinguish fire. No single extinguisher can be used to tackle every fire, okay? Because each type of fire extinguisher has different categories of the fire on which it is effective, okay? So here answer is all of the above, okay? Dash present in the industry should be kept in a security cordon for the safety of the personnel. So prime movers of levy present in the industry should be kept in security cordon for the safety of personnel. Okay, so here the answer is D, which is true regarding CO2 extinguisher. CO2 extinguisher work by displacing the air from surrounding. Okay, as carbon dioxide is also very cold as it comes out of the extinguisher, so it cools fuel as well. Okay, so here the answer is it cannot be used for fire qualitative electric equipments. Okay, we have discussed the table, right? So I think you know how much important the table is because we're getting related questions many times, right? To extinguish fire due to flammable liquids, which type of extinguishing agent is used? So here the answer is foam type extinguisher. Okay. The fuel involved in class D fire is. So here combustible metals such as magnesium, titanium, and zirconium, sodium, lithium, and potassium will be comes under the class D. So those are what? Metals. Okay. Class D is metals. Which type of fire extinguisher is used in welding shop? That is CO2 extinguisher. Okay. CO2 type of extinguisher is used in welding shop. Okay. Foam, water, and dry chemicals are used in class A fire. Okay. And dry powder to put off the class C fire. Okay. An accident is. An accident is unplanned event, non-controllable, controlled event, undesirable event. So all of the above. Okay. Which one of the following is not the cause due to an accident? Cause due to increased production is not the cause due to an accident. Okay. Okay. The safe way of working is the safe of working is an effective and right way of working. Okay. The option is right. An oily floor should be cleaned by. An oily floor should be cleaned by putting sawdust. Okay. So option C is correct. Fire is a combination of. Fire is a combination of fuel, heat, and oxygen. Okay. Fuel, heat, oxygen. In case of arc welding, one should protect his eyes by using. In case of arc welding, one should protect his eyes by using dark glass screen. Okay. While grinding, safety goggles must be used. Okay. So here, dark glass screen. That is option A. While grinding, one must use. We have discussed previously, right? So option C. A hammer with loosely fitted handle will fly away and cause accidents. Okay. What should never be placed on burn? That is cocoa butter should never be placed on a burn. Okay. The fire triangle in fire hazards is identified as. Fire triangle is, we have discussed it before, right? The fire triangle in fire hazards is identified as fuel, oxygen, and heat. Okay. This is the fire triangle. Okay. One is fuel, second is heat. Okay. Third one is oxygen. Okay. Fire triangle. Which of the following fire extinguishing agent is suitable for a live electric fire? That is option C, CTC. Okay, it is also called CTC. Okay, CTC fire extinguisher. Okay, that is carbon tetrachloride fire extinguisher agent is suitable for live electric current fire. Okay, in case of electric fire, which one of the following should not be used? That is, put water on it. Okay, water conducts the electricity so that we can't use water. Who is responsible for providing you with personal protective equipment? That is your employer. Okay, your employer is responsible for providing you with personal protective equipment. Okay, machine guards should be fitted to protect the operator and other nearby phones. The machine guards should be fitted to protect the operator and other nearby from running nip points, flying chips, and sparks, and rotating parts. Okay, so here all of these. Okay, personal protective equipment is required when PPE kit is required when engineer work practice and administrative controls do not provide sufficient protection against hazards. Okay. In case of any problem during machine running, what should be done first? In case of any problem during machine running, first press red button in front of the machine. Okay. So press red button in front of the machine. It will stop the machine. Okay. The following extinguisher is suitable for cotton or other textile pipe. That is option A. Okay. Water CO2 fire extinguisher is suitable for cotton or other textile pipe. Okay. Water and CO2. Okay. Which one of the following is used to rectify damage or rusted threads? That is, a die nut is used to rectify damage or rusted threads. Okay. So answer is option A. Okay. The die nut is used for changing or reconditioning the damaged threads. Okay. I'll write it here. The die nut is is used for changing or reconditioning the damaged threads. Okay. Okay. Die nuts are not to be used for cutting new threads. Okay. It is used for reconditioning the damaged threads. Okay. I'll write it down that too. Not to be used for cutting new threads. Okay. Not to be used for cutting new threads. Okay. And the die nuts are available for different standards and sizes of the thread. Okay. It should be done immediately if a cylinder leaks due to defective valves or safety plug. Move it to a safe area should be done immediately if a cylinder leaks due to defective valves or safety plug. Okay. If a person gets electric shock, what should be the immediate action? If a person gets electric shock, disconnect the electric current, immediate action. Okay. If a worker has suffered from electric shock, he or she should be kept warm and covered. Okay. Disconnect the electric current is. If there is LPG leakage at home or workshop, what should you do? If there is a LPG leak at home or workshop, we do not switch on the lights and fans. Okay. Do not switch off the lights and fans. Okay. Open the doors and windows to ensure ventilation. So here all of these are right answer. Okay. The safety device used to protect eyes while grinding is, that is, safety goggles or safety goggles. Okay. There are three prerequisites for any fire or explosion to take place, which one of the following is not included in the three prerequisites? Okay, so there are three prerequisites for any fire or explosion to take place. That is oxygen, fuel, heat. Okay, here ignition means heat. Okay, so here the answer is nitrogen. Okay, nitrogen is not included. Okay, here he is asking about not included. Okay, so nitrogen ignition means here heat. Okay, in first aid, apply pressure to stop a bleeding becomes. In first aid, apply pressure to stop bleeding becomes safe. Okay, what is safety so as to cultivate? Discipline is safety so as to cultivate. Okay, first aid procedure often consists of simple and basic life-saving techniques that an individual performs with proper training and skill education. Okay, which is the cause of electric fire. Options are loose connection, overloading the wires, electric short circuit. So all of these are causes of the electric fire. Okay, before cleaning the machine should be stopped. Okay, to put off class B fire, the type of fire extinguisher used is here. To put off class B fire, the type of fire extinguisher used is foam tail. Okay, the three factors that cause fire are oxygen, fuel, and heat. Okay, which one of the following fire extinguisher is used for the live electric fire? Okay, halon fire ex halon fire extinguisher is suitable for the live electrical fire. Okay, so option A is a person being electrocuted should be removed from the live supply by means of length of dry timber. Okay, burning wood is a classed as which type of fire? That is class A fire. Okay, class A fire is wood, paper, cloth, and solid materials. Okay, class B is oil-based fire. That is liquid-based fires also. Okay, liquefiable gases comes under this. So class C is gas. Okay, class D is metals and electrical equipment also considered. Okay, on finding a fire in a building, Metnist first action should be that is raise an alarm. Okay, to put off class C fire, the type of extinguisher used is that is dry powder. Okay, class C fire is extinguished by dry powder. Okay, safety can be effectively expressed by safety can be effectively expressed by showing the correct action of an individual. Okay, so option B. Which of the following things should be present in the first aid box? Gauze bandage, adhesive tape, pair of scissors. Okay, so all of the above are correct. Okay, while working on a machine, dash should not be worn. While working on a machine, loose cloth should not be worn. Okay, so option A. While grinding a tool, dash should always be worn. Wearing safety glasses or goggles or a face shield to protect against flying particles. Okay, gloves, aprons, safety boots, hearing protection, and respiratory protection may be required depending on the work. Okay, ensure the floor around the work area is clean. Okay, here the answer is all of the above. Okay, match the following accidents with the solution. Okay, burned by acid, that is a dry bandage. Okay, burned by metal, clean using running water. Okay, breathing stops, giving artificial respiration. Okay, so here the answer is C, D, A. Okay, option B is right answer. Okay, C, D, A. What should be placed on a burn? Aloe vera, water, dry sterile dressing. So here the answer is all of the above. Okay, fire caused due to petrol, diesel, and oil belongs to which category? That is class B. Okay, class D fires involve fire caused due to flammable metals such as it is all of the above. Okay, magnesium, sodium, potassium all comes under the class D fires. Which of the following is required for burning a substance? Okay, we have discussed this before. So all of the above: oxygen and flammable material, source of heat. Okay, which of the following is the cause of an accident? Ignorance, curiosity, indiscipline. That is all of the above. Okay, all the three can cause the cause of the accident. Okay, which of the following is a general safety rule? Smoking should be avoided. Heavy load should be lifted cautiously. One should wear apron while working. So all of the above. Okay. Which of the following is true about safety of machine? So I'm telling you few points. Okay. For safety of machines, listen carefully. There should be a proper distance between any two machines. Okay. The second one is we shouldn't put oil, grease, etc. in working machine. Okay. We should not start the gears of a working machine. Okay. We should switch off the machine when the electricity goes off. Okay. We should not keep tools in a stockpile while working on a machine. Okay. Every machine should be cleaned before and after use. And we should use goggles while grinding. Okay. We should never stand in front of the wheel while grinding. Okay. So here the speed of the machine is adjusted according to the size of the job is the safety of machine. Okay. The basic category of safety sign is many signs are used for safety in workshop. They are following prohibited sign, mandatory signs, warning signs, informative signs, and emergency. Okay, here all of the above comes under the basic category of safety sign.